And it looks like we are off. So we're going to see both players trekking through Yoshi's Island 2. Now there's not too much to note here. We'll see some slightly different behavior with that shell there that they grabbed at the start. Neither opted for an extra life. And it looks like both may have attempted for that 361. But both just getting a 360. And both players having zero issue with box jump. And oh no, it looks like MrStiverson has lost his P-speed. Which is quite unfortunate in this stage. That's definitely going to add a few seconds that he's going to have to make back somehow in this run. Now we're seeing something a little different from last race here. It looks like Bob opted not to go for that shell jump. It looks like Stiverson made the choice to carry that shell along with him for a little ways. But both players clearing Yoshi's Island 4. No big issue. And we'll see how Iggy's Castle will treat both players. It looks like Stiv has a little bit of problems with that second fence there. Bob clearing that first room without much of an issue. And Retro Bob in the auto scroller does this weird clip thing through that crusher. And I've seen a lot of players doing that. I don't actually know how that works, but I find it incredibly fun to see. So, very cool. And a very clean slide kill from Bob, and a very nice Iggy kill with the standard fire kill for Stiverson. And Bob takes a very, very nice cape grab. And Stiverson also grabbing the cape and hitting the skies without any issue. Now what's going to determine most of this stage is just flight speed. And flight speed's kind of hard to tell on these streams, but it looks like Stiverson finished up slightly faster there with a 262 rather than a 261 from Bob. Now both players are going to be swimming through Donut Secret. And we'll see how the dry room treats them. Looks like both players having very little issue with the dry rube. Bob smacking his shell on a fish right towards the end. And a fish just ruthlessly stealing that cape from Stiverson. Right at the end. It looks like he's going to go back for a cape, which is definitely a smart choice. Bob taking that first room of the ghost house without any issue. He spun jump over the entire thing, where we've seen most players try and do a cape bump right at the end there, so it's a little interesting change. It looks like Stiverson's also taking that route. It's very interesting when you're comparing it to other races as well, and seeing how the strategies are different for the different players. And Bob makes it through the big boo fight without any issues. So get those Smasholas ready if you've got them, because Retro Bob's heading into Zips, and we're going to hope for the best for him. And Stiverson clears out that ghost house without any issues, and he himself is going to head on into the Star World 1. There's about from what it looks like to me, there's about a Star World level of separation between the two so far. Zips not being too kind at all to Stiverson. And Bob takes a very clean Star World 3. And Stiverson having a very clean Star World 2. Just getting that key into that keyhole. Now we're going to see Bob flying under Star World 4. Star World 4 can be very intimidating for newer players because you have to stay so close to the bottom of the stage. A small mistake will easily cost you a life. Now Bob's going to make his way through the castle. And... oh no! Oh, Stiverson taking a very unexpected dive into the abyss under the stage. Oh, you really hate to see that. So it looks like he's going to head back for that cape, which is definitely a good option. He's going to take it from Star World 1. Bob into the Bowser fight. Now Bob is taking flight, going for the start of the cape kill. Now I haven't seen it yet, but you know, you see some players throw the Mecha Koopa off to the side of the level, and some just pounding it. And I have seen in a couple very unfortunate PB runs where the Mecha Koopa thrown to the right doesn't actually go off the stage and causes problem for the second part of the cape kill. Stiverson makes his way through door 2. Didn't quite get the door fly. Looks like he's going to take a safe path through door 5. My personal favorite way to go through Bowser's Castle. Bob with a very nice clean phase 2. MrStiverson pulling through that dark room without any issues. And Bob finishing up with an SRL time of 10:46. GG. MrStiverson, what just happened there? For that next hit, he hit the Koopa and it missed. Then he bonked Bowser. And, oh, you hate to see that. And it looks like MrStiverson has ended that first race there. And so the first round will go to Retro Bob. That was very unfortunate to see. Alright, well, MrStiverson's down, but he's not out yet. There is still a chance for him to make a comeback here. So we have a best 2 of 3 race, and we will see how the second round treats both players. Alright, it looks like both players are getting set up right now. And the race will begin shortly. And we are off. Very nice little display there from MrStiverson for the intro cutscene. Now both players will begin their trek through Yoshi's Island, up through Donut Plains into Star World after defeating the scary Big Boo, doing some incredibly easy/stressful levels, and then defeating Bowser, who has stolen the princess again, as is tradition. And it looks like this time Retro Bob finishes up with the 361, and MrStiverson finishing up with the 360. Very, very slight difference between the two. Both nailing that box jump, no problem, like the seasoned players they are. We're going to see them taking a nice long run across those brown platforms whenever they can. That saves just a slight amount of time, and it gives you the opportunity for a 259 at the end of this level. Seems like we lose that princess a lot every time one of these matches happens. Both going for a shell jump attempt. And both making out with a 275. Yoshi's Island 4 is not too difficult to level. Most players can just rely on muscle memory once they have their own pattern. Now both players are making their way through Iggy's castle, both taking as much care as they can to stay off the fences and make their way into the auto-scroller. Both players are very, very close to each other right now. And the Iggy fight goes without any issue for both players. Now we get to sit through a nice little cutscene telling us about the demented Iggy Koopa, one of Bowser's Koopalings, being defeated, and the rescue of Yoshi's friend. Now both players are going to make their way through Donut Plains 1. They're going to grab that cape, they're going to take to the skies, and they are going to fly over with as much speed as they can manage. Now when you take flight, the flight speed oscillates a bit between different values, so once you start actually flying, the value you're on is set. And so there are different flight speeds leading to different completion times of this level. Now both players are swimming through the more frustrating of the two water levels. The thing that makes it the most frustrating is if you go into the dry room to try and grab this Koopa. Sometimes you might destroy the shells we saw with MrStiverson there. Sometimes you could come right out and accidentally destroy that shell, hitting it with a fish. I'll let you swim a little bit faster, so it's always nice to have something while you're swimming. Now both players are going to make their way through Donut's secret house. And, ooh, interesting, I see Bob going and flying underneath in the second room instead of doing a flyover here like Stiverson does. I'm not sure if we've seen that yet in the tournament, or if... I don't know if I caught that when Bob was doing this room last time, but it's always a nice trick to watch. But both are gonna clean up Big Boo without any issues. Stiverson finishing up very slightly faster with a 340 on the clock instead. Both are going to make their way into Star World 1, so get those Smasholas ready. We'll see how Zips treat them. Bob making it through without any issues. Stiverson having a little trouble on that second set of Zips, but getting through in the second part of it, no problem. Now we are going to see the easier of the two water levels. Not really too much to note about this water level. You get to just, swim over the top, and so often you'll hear some players making music with the cape spin while they are floating atop the level. Bob clearing the hardest level in the run without any issues. And Stiverson with an almost identical run through that stage, so very well done by both players. We'll see the players making their way through Star World 4. And there we go, both players making it through no problem. Both players making their way into Bowser. Stiverson only a few seconds behind Bob at this point. This is all going to come down to the Bowser fight and the trek through the castle. Bob making a very, very nice fly through room 2. And Stiverson also flying through room 2 without any issues. Bob taking that fire and boosting through. And Stiverson following suit. Bob not having any issues in the dark room. Stiverson making his way through the dark room as well, getting final boss there right at the end. Bob doing something I haven't yet seen in this tournament personally, where he threw the Koopa at Bowser's copter to destroy it instead. I mean, very nice phase 1. And Stiverson having a very clean first phase of Cape Kill as well. Both players doing phase 2. Bob getting a very clean ball skip. We're going to see Stiverson take the same path that Bob did. Both having a very nice Bowser fight, though. Bob here playing with the Mecha Koopa has me a little on edge. I feel like if he had that for just half a second longer, that Koopa would have taken his cape away from him. And Bob finishing up without any issues. Stiverson getting a nice first hit in that phase 3 and taking flight for the second hit. And finishing up himself. And I didn't catch the RTA time for Bob, but Mr. Stiverson finished up RTA with a 10:58. which is an 11:01 SRL time, and Bob finishing up with an SRL time of 10:43. GG both players. Very, very well played. This was certainly a good race to watch. And very well played by both runners. And if either of the runners would like to join us in Discord for a quick chat, feel free to join the waiting room. And we will pull you in. Hello?
Oh, I thought there was no one there for a second. Hello.
I'm not sure I can hear Bob.
Hello? I can hear you. Okay, let's try again. You there?
Alright, let me try this.
Hello.
There we go. I think I fixed it.
Is it fixed?
Apparently I did. There we go. Try again, Bob.
Hi.
There we go. Okay, so
Alright.
my headset does this great thing where it decides the speakers don't exist anymore, and that was a very inopportune time for that to happen. So sorry about that.
It's all good.
How do you feel about those races?
Pretty good, pretty solid, but I must say I had some pretty slimy shells today in DS1. But I got exactly what I was looking for, a pair of solid runs.
They were very good runs, especially that second one. I really enjoyed watching you fly under the boo ring in the second room of the ghost house.
Yeah, I thought everybody would enjoy that. I had a win, so I thought, why not? Let's try and do something for the fans. I feel more confident about that talking to Silver Star, who I saw in chat, compared to the Star Roll 4 strat that's new. I am not confident at all with that, so...
Well, especially in a race situation, you want to stay with things you're comfortable with.
Exactly. I just want to go for a good average.
Exactly. You go a little too experimental and things can go horribly wrong, horribly quick.
Yep, that's the way it is.
Were you keeping an eye on the restream at all while you were playing, or?
I'm a bit in focus mode. I kind of peeked in the second stream, which almost helped me make my decision for Ghost House, but then I said, no, screw it.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Are you excited for the next round? Let's see who you're going against real quick.
Looking forward, whoever I'm facing. It's been fun so far.
Let's see if I can... Challenge is really hard to navigate sometimes because the bracket is so huge.
Oh yeah, and I got that last time in the second race. While outside, a whole little motorcycle party was going on at my apartment complex.
That's
so
very...
There was that factor.
I did actually have to get up for a second because someone's car alarm was going off and I wasn't sure if it was audible. But I wanted to take that. So it looks like you're going to be going up against Umar next, so that should be a fun race to watch. And it looks like
that's going to be fun.
Stiverson will be going against Dunkel Gothic, so both will be really good races to watch. I'm very excited to see what happens next.
So
All
am
right.
I.
Got anything else you want to say here before we close it up for the evening?
Well, there's been a whole lot of action as of late, and I hope everyone keeps on watching because it's going to get better from here.
Yes, it is indeed. Looks like Sunday we've got quite a bit of action happening. We've got a pretty early morning race there. We've got a 4-way at 4 p.m. and then 8 and 9 p.m. we've got a couple other races from the second chance bracket. So this will be really awesome to watch, and I hope you all tune in for it. And thanks for hanging out, you guys. I'm sure everyone who ran tonight appreciates the support, and I appreciate you guys being here. Everyone does. And so come by on Sunday and check out all the action we're having.